I'm still a little bit shocked, bro. The best player in the world, according to you, came up short yet again. What he had 31 points last night, 39 points last night,
39.
but he shot 31 times. Like he once again, KD was inefficient. Like the floor really is yours right now because you're gonna have to talk to the bosses instead of me this time. I need you to explain what happened.
What happened is that Boston came up with a plan where I think Boston, the only team that had a plan, the personnel to pull off the plan of stopping KD. Now, I'd put the onus on KD because you had to figure out how to get past that. You know what I'm saying? And as far as leading, like your primary who you are as a player is the scorer, bro. Stop trying to you trying to, be this passer and trying to facilitate for what? You know
I
what I mean?
love
That's
this.
not
I
who you
love this
are.
approach you're taking because this is the stuff that we ask of LeBron every year. We ask LeBron to be the facilitator, to be the floor general, to be the scorer, to be the coach, to be the GM. We ask LeBron James to do this. So why is it that Kevin Durant, who we put on the same pedestal as LBJ, he gets a pass and his only job is now to be a shooter? Come on, D.
I'll say this. Heavy is the head, right? So as much as we talk trash about LeBron and him and his shortcomings, and we slander him, we gotta have the same energy for KD. So until he proves different, he gonna get slandered all offseason. You know what I'm saying? And the sad part is, I gotta look at. I'm not gonna question what you've done so far, but I gotta question where I rank you now. Like LeBron would have got you one, bro. He would have got you one, bro.
Even if
At
LeBron
least.
wouldn't have gotten you one, what Kevin Durant has not been able to accomplish on his own or as the man on the team. I'm looking at that sample size. I'm looking way back through OKC when he was the man. Yes, he had Westbrook and, Harden at a point, but he couldn't get it done there. He got it done with Golden State with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Steve Kerr, Draymond Green. He got it done there. Now he got his own squad, so to speak, with Kyrie. They even brought James Harden into the mix at a point. And I know a lot of things happen with the old vaccine situation and all that other type of stuff. But LeBron does not get these types of passes. So you're absolutely right, bro. When I look at the overall rankings, this is definitely going to hurt KD's legacy because this is not about his skill set. This is about his leadership. Kevin Durant has lost 8 of his last 9 playoff games. That's number one. 8 of his last 9 playoff games he's lost. The last 2 seasons, he got eliminated at home.
Yeah.
They lost to the Milwaukee Bucks in the Game 7 in Brooklyn. They lost to Boston yesterday in the Game 4. Mind you, neither team, the Boston Celtics nor the Milwaukee Bucks of last year, had a single player on their roster, D-Money, that has any NBA Finals appearance. That's what Kevin Durant and Kyrie and them lost to 2 straight seasons. They got exposed up and down and all around this year. Steve Nash is done. I don't care what Kevin Durant and them tried to say as far as running it back and how he got dealt a bad hand. Kevin Durant dealt that hand. He signed off on the James Harden trade. He signed off on all this. You know what I'm saying? He signed off on bringing Steve Nash here pretty much.
Yeah.
No. KD looking crazy right now, bro. KD looking crazy.
How much? So on a percentage scale, what would you put it between him and Kyrie? Because I got Kyrie just as much vitriol we giving KD, we got to give it to Kyrie. I might give Kyrie probably about 60%, to be honest, just off of all the baggage that came with him, especially for this year. You picking and choosing when you want to show up, and then the whole thing with this whole vaccination thing. Then you're talking about making a decision with Sean Marks and them. Like, bro, what have you done to have this arrogance, bro? Like, what? I understand you have superstar talent. The problem is you don't have the mentality of a champion, bro. You don't have that. And then you wonder why they don't put you in the top 75. Like, I get it why they put Dame in top 75 instead of Kyrie. Dame has those leadership qualities and those things. We've seen Dame by himself take his team, pick them up, and beat, you know what I'm saying, some of the playoff teams in the West. We haven't seen Kyrie do that.
We've never seen Kyrie take a team. We've seen Kyrie fold in Boston. We've seen Boston play better when Kyrie was hurt than having Kyrie on the floor. This is the same team that's just knocked Kyrie out. Kyrie is another one that's looking crazy now after leaving LeBron. Like, you got to look at Kyrie now. Like, this last night, it's early, but I think it's going to expose a whole lot. And when you talk about portions of the pie as far as giving blame, I'm giving KD 25%. I'm giving Kyrie 25%. And I'm giving, hold on. I'm giving KD 25%. I'm giving Kyrie 25%. And I'm giving Steve Nash, the supporting cast, and the general manager, everything else, I'm giving that the other 50%. Everyone played the role in the demise of the Brooklyn Nets. Everyone, even the role players, because they stood around when the games got close. And all these games that they lost to Boston was winnable, including last night. They sit around and they wait for Kyrie and Kevin Durant to do magic. Boston don't play like that. Boston got 3, 4, 5 guys that are willing to take a shot, make a play when the goals get stuff. They don't sit around waiting, looking for Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown to score. Marcus Smart to get in there and do some dirty work. Al Horford to get in there and do some dirty work.
So, and then to mention, they only have 2 guys that they're really developing. One didn't even use. We haven't seen him actually have an effect on the team since he beat New York by himself, putting up 40 points with Cam Thomas. And I'm like, when you have a kid like that has that capability, why are you not playing him? You know what I'm saying? And then you have LaMarcus Aldridge, poor LaMarcus Aldridge, coming back out of retirement just for you to come back and waste his time. You know what I mean? It's looking bad. And then you finally play Blake Griffin. Finally.
He played hard this series.
Get some size out there, bro.
He played hard this series. He threw it all out on the court.
Come on, bro. What?
But, it wasn't going to be enough. Blake wasn't going to be enough, but he played hard. Look, man, like I said, KD's gotten exposed. Kyrie's gotten exposed. Steve Nash has gotten exposed. Running it back to me is not an option.
Yeah, and then I got to give you credit on another one about Ben Simmons. What do you do about Ben Simmons?
Nothing.
Like
you do nothing. You do nothing about Ben because, see, Ben wasn't relevant in this whole story. You cannot blame Ben Simmons for the demise of the Brooklyn Nets.
Oh,
he didn't help the cause. He didn't help the cause, but he didn't do anything to affect this, for real.
No, but as far as just being available and you have all these issues, then I'm still hearing about mental issues like, hey, dog, Doc Rivers really and Joel Embiid had that much of an effect on you that you're having these mental issues that you're just scared to even get on the court, my guy? What are we doing here? You really got to question how much these guys actually love basketball, bro. And that's why I'm saying, like, with Kyrie, I'm like, listen, I'm not knocking your religion, my G, but if we're going to continue this with Ramadan and you're going to be fasting every time we come to the first round of the playoffs, bro, what are you here for? We don't need you. We could easily just ship you to Orlando, bro. Ship you somewhere where you could just be the show and you can be all about you. They could pay you the money just to come in for you to be the spectacle.
Well, that's what Ben Simmons needs. That's what Ben Simmons needs. To go to a team that has no expectations and just let him ball out. That's what he needs. Brooklyn is just too big of a city for him. Even though he left Philly, the Big Apple, man, is the Big Apple. Like once he got on the court, people were going to looking for him to produce immediately, especially playing with Kyrie and Kevin Durant. And if he's not ready, he's not ready. But it also goes to show that he's just not ready for big boy moments. And I can respect it if he just keep it real with himself. So hopefully Brooklyn can get him out of there and he can find a city that may not be a threat to win some championships, but at least he can, be comfortable and get back into his bag and mentally. But
bruh, it's so bad right now. I ain't worried about the mecca of basketball being in New York. We can't even call the mecca of basketball in New York. That is in question right now, bro. Like
I mentioned that last night on Twitter.
Then looking at Philly, I'm like, Philly, what the hell going on with y'all? And then
let me explain something. Once Philly went up 3-1 on the Raptors, I just had to double back and look and see who their head coach was. When I realized that it was Doc Rivers with this 3-1 lead, I said, I know Toronto got a chance now. And what happened in Philly yesterday? They blew the doors off of the Sixers.
They did. You know what's worse? It's actually 3-0. It was up 3-0. They'll be the first. If this happens and they let Toronto come back and bring them to Game 7, it'll be the first time that an NBA team has allowed someone to come back from 3-0 if Toronto somehow pulls out this series.
Unless an organization want the name, Doc Rivers has coached his last games in the NBA if they don't pull through this first round. I'm sorry. I don't see any team wanting him to be a coach if he's blown more Game 7s than any other coach in NBA history. And he's lost more 3-1 leads than any other coach in NBA history.
Yep. And I think that's another thing that's getting exposed. These guys that's been living off these highs, you know what I'm saying? He's still living off that Boston
2008. Off of 2008.
Yeah, like dog, like nah, you gotta prove yourself, bro. And then the same way with Kyrie. You ain't won once with LeBron, bro. What's up with you? Man, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Like a lot of these squads, man, and a lot of these older guys getting exposed. These younger guys are starting to come in. Y'all about to start seeing a lot of folks getting up out of these NBA, man. I don't know how to really explain it, but it's looking bad right now, bro. I ain't gonna hold you.
Have you had an opportunity to watch the HBO series Winning Time about the Lakers?
I heard about it.
Man, you definitely got to check out this series called Winning Time on the Lakers, bro. It's a real good joint on HBO. If you got HBO, check it out, bro.
I heard Jerry West was complaining about it. I don't know.
They made him look crazy. Yeah, they made him look crazy like a real butthole in the show. You know what I mean? I don't know what he was like in real life, but, that was his issue. The way they depicted his character, he had a problem with. So he's demanding an apology, but, it is what it is. But it's a good show, bro. You got to check it out. Yeah, bro. I'm still a little bit shocked. Again, I'm still a little bit shocked about what happened yesterday, but I'm not 100% surprised. So now that Brooklyn is gone, how do you see the East playing out? Because Chris Middleton is hurt, so Giannis is a little bit short. Who do you think is the favorite coming out of the East? I'm still going with Miami, my pick from the start. But who do you got now that Brooklyn is eliminated? Who do you see coming out the East? You giving Boston the run?
If Boston, it depends on how Boston does against the Bucks. If Boston dethrones the Bucks, you got to give it to Boston. Got to, especially if they pack up who's supposed to be the new best NBA player in the league, and Giannis. If they pack him up the same way that they did KD, you got to give it to him, bro.
I wouldn't be mad if they was the favorite if they beat Milwaukee, but Miami Heat's defensive presence, hard body matches that energy that Boston has to me defensively.
It does, but who can score like on like really make their own shot on the level of maybe a Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown?
Jimmy Butler can put up the numbers that Jason do, right? Jimmy can give you 40 and 50.
He can.
He's done it this year.
Consistently, I don't see it. And
I don't.
especially against the length, that's what the problem is with the Celtics. The length that they
Yeah,
had, it's a
that's true.
problem.
That's true, bro. That's true,
And they
bro.
all can shoot.
That's true, bro.
That's a problem. Like you can't, they can switch off of anything. And the biggest issue is them having Robert Williams back has made it 100 times harder for these next rounds for these teams, man. Like it's rough. I
I
don't
need the
know
first round to
how you
hurry
get
up and
past
get
that.
done. I need this round to get done. I need to see what's happening because the next round is going to paint the real picture for us. Because right now we still got so much going on in the air. We talk about Philly and Toronto. When you look in the Western Conference, Phoenix. I don't know about Phoenix. You know what I'm saying? Golden State, like
they look like they figured out Chris Paul, didn't they?
Yeah.
Look,
I'm looking at Brandon Ingram, bro. He looking like the real deal.
Yeah, he looked like KD was supposed to be looking like.
Yes,
that's what it looks like.
That's true. That's true. That's true. He was compared to Kevin Durant.
Yeah, that game is super similar. But now it's like, okay, well, this is what what we thought we was getting from KD, and he's out here doing it with New Orleans. Now for CJ McCollum has definitely impressed me. You know what I'm saying? And then for them to be a sub 500 team, if they go and pack up the Phoenix Suns, what does that do for Chris Paul's legacy? You know, and then you look at DeAndre Ayton, who we thought was supposed to be one of the up and coming premier big men. Nah,
he wasn't this year what he was last year. He wasn't this year what he was last year. I'll definitely agree to you on that. He looks a little bit overrated. And Devin Booker, if he's hurt, you know, that's crazy.
Yeah, and then moving on, I don't know. You're gonna look like a prophet again with Memphis. It is looking a little shaky, baby. I don't know.
I told y'all, Ja Morant ain't ready yet. It's not gonna happen. Y'all happy-go-lucky people out there. Look, it's not not that Minnesota is that good of a team. Mm-hmm. Ja Morant, he has to go through the growing pains. This is going to be the growing pains. Give me 1 or 2 more seasons. He'll definitely be someone that could lead a team to a first or second round series win, but not right now, bro. He ain't got no help like that.
So we're on the verge of maybe Golden State going to the title again. Is that what we're trying to say?
I don't know. Because you can't sleep on Dallas and Luka, bro. Mm-hmm. Luka gives you them LeBron vibes, bro. If there is one guy in the Western Conference that can carry his team past these other cats like Golden State, it would have to be Luka in the way he's playing. There's no other one single player. Jokic is not going to be able to do it. There's no other player actively in the playoffs that could carry his team to a series win versus Golden State, I think, other than Dallas and Luka. And they're going to need some help with that.
I got to see it. I got to see it next round then, because I'm not going to put a win over Utah, who let Brunson drop 30 and 40 on them back to back. And then now they just look like Utah about to get broken up too, because they've
been, but see, Donovan and Rudy, like they've been out of pocket and out of whack since Rudy Gobert did that corny stuff with the touching the microphones. Like it's always been friction. You know what I'm saying? So we know that's a done deal. Let me ask you this before we get up out of here. LeBron James took some heat yesterday. He took the Instagram. He was in Cancun living his best life, celebrating, laughing it up. He took some heat from a lot of people on social media, talking about how could he go to Cancun and look how he's celebrating in the offseason. Kobe would have never done this. We see this time and time again with superstars, especially LeBron James, just saying they can't win for losing. Do you have a problem with LeBron being in Cancun coming off of a season that they didn't make the playoffs?
Who cares? He's 38 now? He's this is going on 20 plus seasons? Almost?
Year 20, yeah.
Bro, who cares? look, the season's good. The season got tanked. They ain't even make it in the playoffs. This is first time, honestly, where there's no pressure on this dude. You know what I'm saying? Since he's been in the league. Yep. Let that man live his life, man. Whatever. You know what I'm saying?
He's made the playoffs every year, I think, after like his first couple seasons. So this is the first time he's really had I know they got bumped in the first round of Phoenix last year, but you know,
and look, he's gonna, and honestly, I look at it like this: he's gonna need this break because we don't know what the state of the Lakers is gonna be when he gets back and has to go back to work. We don't know what's gonna go on with that. It's gonna be a train wreck all over again. Let that man have his break, man. It's gonna be all right.
I'm gonna start campaigning for LeBron to demand a trade. I don't like the way the LA fans are treating LeBron. I still don't like these Kobe comparisons. I think it's corny. Like LeBron to me has done too much for a team that was just irrelevant. We know the Lakers are always going to be relevant because of their name, the banners, and the history, but they were nobodies during Kobe's last few years. And when Kobe left, like LeBron brought energy back to the city, brought energy back to that team. You know, other star athletes now wanting to come play for LA teams. You see the Dodgers won the World Series. The Rams just won the Super Bowl. Odell going to LA. Like LeBron's energy, you know, is contagious to me. Brought up one of them a championship, and they still hating on him, and they still comparing him to Kobe. And I know he'll never be loved like Kobe, but for the shots that they taken, I don't like it, bro. I just feel like there's no appreciation for real. And I think LeBron need to just fucking ask to go.
Yeah, so far we got LeBron, we got Damian Lillard, we got possibly Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert. If Philadelphia gets dealt out and gets kicked out after going 3-0, and seeing the comments that Joel Embiid had made against, basically it was a subtle shot against James Harden and Doc Rivers, does he start asking for a different location?
Embiid, I think his cachet in the situation is different. I think his stature overrides those other two guys. So I could see Philly and Daryl Morey getting rid of Doc Rivers and James Harden before Joel Embiid. I don't think that they would even let Joel get that upset and frustrated that he wants to be gone, because he is the anchor. If they was going to get rid of Joel, they should have did it when they had Ben Simmons. I said that. Yeah. I said Joel immaturity, he was the one, but they decided to go with Ben.
Yeah.
James Harden, even though he got a relationship with James Moore, he's just too unpredictable. So you can't consider building the franchise off of James Harden. And we just talked about how Doc Rivers is getting exposed. So they can't allow Joel Embiid to get that frustrated that he demands to make a trade. I think if you see frustration with him, they'll get rid of those other guys before they allow Joel to walk out. Because once Joel walks out, it's straight rebuilding mode.
Done.
Straight rebuilding
again.
Mode. Again. And rebuilding from nothing because they ain't won anything. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, nah. It's the NBA, man. I love this game. You already know the vibes, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, look, we're going to see what's going to happen tonight. That's all I'm going to say. These next 2 days is going to be detrimental.
This is the best of 7 Sports Talk, y'all. Make sure y'all tune into the night's games. We'll be tapping in later on this week, giving our thoughts and our opinions. D-Money, I appreciate you chopping it up this afternoon, fam.
Appreciate you, big dog.
All righty, man. I'll sign off, and we will get back with y'all guys this week. Y'all enjoy the NBA action. We